Okay, hello second graders. Today we are looking at lesson 4-6. They're going to be asking us to practice adding, and we're going to find that on page 223. So if you can please take out your books. If you don't already have them out, I'm going to show you what my workspace looks like. Here we are on page 223. We have Carlos on that page. It's lesson 4-6. And I'm going to go ahead and read the story to you while you follow along, okay? It says, Maria has 39 stickers. Sally has 28 stickers. They found 14 more stickers. How many stickers do they have in all? Show your work. Explain how you found your answer. Okay, so the first part is the story, and the second part are the directions, which are to show our work and to explain how we found the answer. So let's go back to the story and identify some important information. We know that Maria has 39 stickers, and we know that Sally has 28 stickers. Okay. Then we also know that they found 14 more stickers. And the question is, how many stickers do they have in all? Okay, and in all, those are keywords, right? They clue us in to the fact that we're going to be adding as we go because they want to know how many all together. All right, so Maria has 39. I'm going to record that first. That's Maria's amount. I'm going to be adding. I know that Sally has 28, so I'm going to go ahead, record that. And then I know that they found 14. All right. So there's my equation, 39 plus 28 plus 14. There's several different ways that I can do this. I'm going to go ahead and show you a couple of ways right now, and then you can follow along as we go. If you'd like to record one of those ways in your book, you can. Or if you have another way that you would like to solve for it, you can do that also. Just pause the video and you can solve in a different way, okay? So one way that that comes to mind right away is breaking apart the numbers. So if I wanted to start with that strategy, I know 39 would break apart into 30 and 9. So there's my number bonds, right? 28 would break apart into 20 and 8. There's my second pair of bonds. And then finally, I have 14. So break apart into 10 and 4. Okay. Breaking apart is nice because it gives us the ability to just add the tens to begin with, and our brains really like adding with tens. So I can see I have 30 plus 20 plus 10. Okay, you could even do that with mental math if you'd like. 30 plus 20 would give you 50, plus 10 more would give you 60. Okay, if you're not quite there yet with doing mental math, that's more than okay. We can write our equation here, 30 plus 20 plus 10. And you can even draw the rods and cubes to go with that. So 30 would be 3 rods, right? 20 would be 2 rods, and 10 would be 1 rod. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60. So I know I have 60, and my 10s are accounted for. So I'm going to go ahead and cross those out. I've taken care of my 10s, and I'm going to go back and look at my 1s. I see I have 9 plus 8 plus 4. So I'm going to go ahead and record that. 9 plus 8 plus 4. Okay. And I know 9 plus 8 is an equation that maybe not everyone has in their long-term memory yet. If you do, that's wonderful. But one strategy that I can use is to take 9 and to scoop up 8. Another strategy I can use is 9 plus 8 is a near double, right? If I know that 9 plus 9 is 18, then I know 9 plus 8 is 17 because it's just one less. Okay, so I have 17 plus 4 more. So I can scoop up 17 and count on 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. All right, so 21 for my ones. All right, so what would that look like here? Well, I would write 20 and 1. Okay, so now I have 60 plus 21. And because I did my base 10 blocks, I can also count them up using that method. So why don't we count by tens? We could do that together. Ready? Here we go. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, plus one more is 81. So my final equation would be 60 plus 21 equals 81. So I know altogether they have 81 stickers. Okay. All right. So now I've shown two ways. I've shown breaking apart, and I've also shown what that would look like with base 10 blocks. Okay. All right, guys. So let's go ahead and turn the page. Unless you need more time with this section, then you can go ahead and pause the video. I'm going to go ahead and move us ahead to our next page. Carlos is going to show us some other methods or strategies. Okay, our directions say find 27 plus 38 plus 12 plus 3. So now you see we have 4 add-ins. Okay, so one way is to use partial sums. Now, second graders on Friday, I believe it was, yeah, Friday, we went back and we looked at the difference between partial sums and the traditional method. And we know that partial sums is when we start adding the tens first. So just kind of keep that in mind as you look at what they did. Okay, so they lined everything up. 27 plus 38 plus 12 plus 3. And if I'm just looking at my tens, I have 20 plus 30 plus 10. Okay, and that gave them a sum of 60. So they put 60 here next to the tens. And then for my ones, I have 7 plus 8 plus 2 plus 3. And you can see here they circled 7 and 8 because those were the first two numbers that they added. And I bet you can tell why. 7 plus 3 gives me, yeah, 10, right? 7 plus 3 gives me 10, and our brains like adding with tens. What's interesting is if you look at the other two numbers, 8 plus 2, guess what? That also gives you 10. Yeah, 8 plus 2 is 10. So now I have 10 plus 10, and that gives me a sum of 20. So now I have 60 plus 20, and if I add those together, I get a total of 80. So it's one way that I can solve. Okay. Another way I can solve is the traditional method or regrouping. Okay, so they talk about that in the next box. Another way, it says add the ones, regroup if needed, then add the tens. Okay, so these are the two ways that we reviewed on Friday, right? When we do the traditional method, we set up the problem the same, but this time we're going to start adding in the ones place. So again, in my ones place, I see 7 plus 3, and that gives me 10, plus 8 plus 2 also gives me 10 for a total of 20. Okay, I can't put 2 digits here in this single column, so I'm going to carry my 2 into the tens place and put my 0 down below. So I've taken my number 20 and I've split it, right? Regrouped. Now in my tens place, I have 2 plus 2, that gives me 4, and I have 3 plus 1, that also gives me 4. 4 and 4 is a double, I know. That's 8. Okay, so I have 80, the same as my partial sums. All right. Okay. Carlos is also encouraging us in that third box to check your work. He says you can add the numbers in a different order to check your work. Okay, so notice he checks his work by taking those 4 add-ins that he was given, 27 plus 38 plus 12 and 3. And first he adds 27 plus 3 for a sum of 30. And then he adds the inside 38 plus 12 for a sum of 50. and he knows that 30 plus 50 equals 80. So he rewrites his equation to equal 80. Okay, so those are some reviews, some tips and tricks. Let's go ahead and look at the guided practice and the directions. Just have one word, add. That's all we're doing today. Okay, we're working on adding with different amounts of add-ins. So number one, our problem is 18 plus 43 plus 12. So I can see here, I'm seeing that they regrouped, which tells me that they used the traditional method, right? They started in the ones place, and I can see they began with 8 plus 2. Well, that's a good idea because that's a 10, right? 10 plus 3 more gives me 13. I can't write 13 down here, so I have to regroup. I'm going to carry my 1, put my 3 in my ones place. And now in my tens place, I have 1 plus 1, which gives me 2, and 4 plus 1, which gives me 5. Okay. All right, now I have 2 plus 5, and that gives me 7, for a total sum of 73. All right. For number 2, why don't we do the traditional method one more time, and then maybe we'll do the partial sums for the next ones. Okay, that might work. So for number 2, traditional method, we always start in the ones place. I see 9 plus 7. So 9 plus 7 gives me a sum of 16, right? If you don't have that in your long-term memory, you can take 9 and scoop it up and count on 7 more. It would sound like this: 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Okay, 16. So I'm going to carry my 1 and put my 6 down below, taking that 16 and split it up and regrouped. And now in my tens place, I have 1 plus 2, that gives me 3, and 3 plus 4 gives me 7, for a total of 76. Okay, all right, moving on to number 3, I'm going to go ahead and now move to the partial sums method. Now remember, partial sums, I'm going to start in my tens place for partial sums. So I'm going to just go ahead and put a line down here. These are my tens, these are my ones. Just kind of help me to stay organized visually. Okay, so in my tens, I see 3 tens plus 2 tens. And I still kind of like writing it out on the side. You don't have to do this part, but it just helps me to see it and organize it. So 20 plus 30, or 3 tens plus 2 tens, equals or gives me a sum of 50. So I'm going to go ahead and put 50 for my first sum. And now I'm going to move on to my ones, and I have 9 plus 4 plus 1. Okay, 9 plus 4 plus 1. Well, I right away see 9 plus 1. That kind of sticks out to me because I know that's going to make a 10. So I have 10 plus 4 more, and that gives me 14. I'll go ahead and put 14 here. Okay, now these are the numbers I have to add: 50 plus 14. If it helps to make a picture, there's plenty of room down here. I can draw my 5 rods for 50, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. And then I have 14 ones, so that would be 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. And now I can count them all up. You can count by tens with me as we go. Here we go. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 61, 62, 63, 64. For a total sum of 64. Okay, all right, we're going to try one more partial sums with number 4. So I'm just going to put a light line going down there with my tens here and my ones here. All right, and for partial sums, I start in my tens place. I have 3 tens plus 2 tens plus 1 10 plus 1 10. Let's try doing mental math and see how that goes. So I have 30 plus 20 gives me 50, plus 10 more gives me 60, plus 10 more after that gives me 70. So I have a total of 70 tens, right? And now I'm going to look in my ones place, and I'm going to, wow, I see a 10 here. Did you guys see that? 3 plus 7. Yeah, that gives me 10. And then I have 8 more here. That gives me, let me go ahead and draw it here or write it here just to see it visually. 10 plus 8 gives me 18. So I have 18 plus 3 more. I can scoop up that 18 and count on 3 more. 18, 19, 20, 21. Okay, so I have 21 ones. So now I just need to add 70 plus 21. Again, if you'd like to draw a picture of it, you can. So 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, and then 21 is 10, 20, and 1. And now we're going to count by tens as we go. Ready? Here we go. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 91. So I have a total of 91. Okay? All right, guys. So you can see the numbers that we're adding. There's more of them. There's often more than 2 add-ins. But the strategies and the steps that we're using stay the same. Okay, so don't let the fact that the numbers are getting a little bit bigger throw you off. It's the same strategies, same steps that we're taking. All right, so the directions for independent practice are just to add. If you like using the traditional way better, then I would encourage you to stick with the traditional way. If you like using the partial sums better, then I would encourage you to go ahead and solve them all with partial sums. If you like mixing it up and doing half one way and half the other way, that's okay too. But don't feel like you have to do a different strategy for each one. All you need to do here is solve in whatever way is most comfortable for you. Okay, guys? And then I'm going to ask today that you complete numbers 5 all the way through 14. So those first 2 rows, I'll show you those 5 all the way to 14. And then the number sense one we'll save for another time. Okay, guys? All right. If you have any questions, you know you can always reach out. Other than that, I'll be talking to you real soon. I hope you have a great day. Okay, guys. Bye.